The town of Graven Hollow didn't appear on most maps anymore. A once thriving stop along the old northeastern rail line, it had long since been swallowed by time, fog, and silence. The locals who remained spoke little and slept early, their eyes avoiding the rusted tracks that cut through the outskirts like a scar no one dared touch. But at midnight, the silence broke. Each night, though no schedule listed it, no whistle warned it, and no tracks had been maintained for decades. Train would arrive at platform 13. Its arrival was sudden. No chugging engine, no rhythmic click of wheels. Just a low hum in the chest, the metallic screech of unseen brakes, and a train emerging from the darkness like a phantom called by despair. No one boarded. Not anymore. Not since the stories, they said those who stepped aboard the midnight train were never seen again. Or worse, were seen, but not as themselves. When Lena Harrow, a stranger to Graven Hollow, arrived seeking solitude and escape from a past that refused to let go, she was told only one rule by the innkeeper: never go. Near the station after dark? She didn't ask why, but the train called to her. Not with words, with memories. Lena tried to ignore it at first. She kept to her room at the edge of town, the one that overlooked the mist-covered fields, and just beyond them, the collapsed archway marking the old station. She spent her days wandering empty streets, sipping weak coffee at the town's only cafe, and pretending she was building a new life. But the nights betrayed her. At exactly 12 a.m. The air would shift, the wind would still, and through the cracked glass of her bedroom window, she'd hear it, that low mechanical breath of something too large and too dead to move. Yet it did. The train always arrived. One night, curiosity overtook caution. Wrapped in a coat too thin for the chill, Lena walked the narrow trail that led to the station. The lanterns that once lit the platform were long gone, but a cold silver glow bathed the area in unnatural light. And there it was. The train, black as soot, windowless, motionless and waiting. A faceless conductor stood beside an open door, unmoving as though frozen in time. Lena's breath caught as she saw something flicker in the window's reflection. Her own face, but older, empty-eyed, smiling. She stumbled back and ran. The next day, she asked a local man of the calf-gray bearded, with eyes like damp stone about the train. He didn't flinch. "They call it the midnight train," he said, voice low. "You don't ride it unless you've got nowhere left to go. Some don't ride it at all. Some just vanish." He slid a wrinkled photograph across the table. In it, a group of passengers from decades past, all staring blankly into the camera. One face stopped Lena cold. It was her father. Younger, but unmistakable. And beneath the photo, barely visible under a coffee stain, a handwritten note: "Last seen boarding platform 13, midnight." The photo haunted her. Lena turned it over in her hands for days, memorizing the expression on her father's face. Not fear, not confusion, just emptiness, like something had already been taken from him before the train pulled away. Her memories of him, fragmented and fading, offered no comfort. Only questions. And one undeniable pull. On the 7th night, when the fog curled tighter around the town like a shroud, she returned to the platform. No one tried to stop her. The train was already there, silent as death, doors open wide as though expecting her. The conductor gave a slow, mechanical nod. No words, no ticket needed. She stepped aboard. Inside, there were no seats, only corridors. dimly lit, lined with mirrors and shifting shadows. The air was thick with the scent of rust and forgotten things. The doors slid shut behind her with a sigh, and the train began to move. The first car was a perfect replica of her childhood bedroom, except everything was slightly off. Her stuffed bear was missing its eyes. The walls whispered names she hadn't heard in years, and in the corner sat a version of herself as a child, rocking silently, mouthing, "Why didn't you come back?" The next car was worse, a hospital hallway with flickering lights. She walked down it, her footsteps echoing endlessly until she reached a door marked with her father's name. Inside, him, sitting on the edge of a bed, staring at his hands, he looked up at her, but didn't recognize her. "Have I been here long?" he asked, voice hollow. Lena choked back tears. "I came for you." He tilted his head. "They all say that, before they forget why they came." The train shuddered, and the lights dimmed. Each car became more surreal, one filled with clocks spinning backward, another with passengers wearing masks of her own face, each whispering doubts, regrets, secrets she buried, time fractured. She couldn't tell if minutes had passed or years. Then came the final car. It was a mirror floor to ceiling. Nothing else. And in that mirror, she didn't see herself. She saw the version of her that never left her hometown, never ran, never broke. She saw peace, and it terrified her. The mirror asked nothing. It only offered a choice: stay and become part of the train's endless circuit of pain, memory, and forgetting, or face the truth she'd buried for so long and try to find her way back. Lena stood frozen before the mirror, the train rattling softly beneath her feet as if breathing, waiting. Her reflection stared back with a calm she didn't recognize. It didn't blink, it didn't move. But Lena felt something shift. She reached out, the surface rippled like water, and her hand passed through. On the other side, vision surged, memories she had buried deep beneath scars and silence. Her father's unexplained disappearance, the night she overheard the phone call that shattered her childhood. The years she spent pretending she didn't care. The train wasn't just a vessel. It was a judgment. It fed on unresolved pain, on the cracks in people's lives they refused to mend. The longer one stayed, the less they remembered why they came, until they became part of the train itself, a flicker behind a window, a whisper in the corridor. Lena stumbled back from the mirror, clutching her chest as if the air had been stolen from her lungs. Around her, the walls began to close in. The lights flickered violently. The conductor's shadow loomed at the far end of the car. She ran through the cars again, each now distorted, melting, collapsing behind her. The corridors twisted, disoriented her, turned back on themselves. Voices called out to her from the walls. Some begged her to stay. One sounded like her father. "Lena." She paused out there, just beyond a half-closed door, sat her father again, but this time not empty, not hollow. "Don't stay here," he said softly. "You still have time." "I didn't, but you do." He pressed something into her hand, a rusted train whistle, and the room vanished. The train screeched. She saw the exit. A narrow door cracked open at the end of the hallway. Light poured in, warm, golden, blinding. She didn't hesitate. Lena leapt, and everything went black. Lena awoke in her room at the inn. The morning sun filtered through the curtains, warm and harmless. The fog was gone. The silence of the town now felt ordinary, almost peaceful. For a moment, she believed it had. All but a nightmare, but when she moved to sit up, she saw it, the rusted train whistle clutched tightly in her hand. Its chill had seeped into her skin. She stood, walked to the mirror by the dresser, and stopped. The reflection stared back, but something was wrong. Her smile was unfamiliar. Too wide, her eyes. Too hollow dot behind her in the mirror, a dark. Train flickered for just a moment, rolling silently through a colorless landscape. Lena blinked. The train was gone, but the smile remained.